Well, I turn my feelings on. I turn my feelings on the side. Yeah, yeah. Feel like I'm gonna ignite. I saw them stars go off. I saw them stars go off at night. Oh yeah, yeah. And they're looking alright. Roll up, keep up, roll up, get up, roll it up, keep up, show me like a tone. Oh, it hit me like a tone. Oh, it hit me like a tone. I turn my camera on. I cut my fingers on the way. On the way, on the way. I feel me slipping away. I wipe my feelings off. You made me untouchable for life. Oh yeah, and you was a delight. You hit me like a tone. I don't know where it's from. Hit me like a tone. Ooh yeah. Ooh yeah. Camera on. Ooh yeah. Camera on. Ooh yeah. Ooh yeah. I turn my camera on like a tone. I turn my camera on like a tone. I turn my hit me like a tone. Hit me like a camera on. Feel me slip away.
Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes, watching the ships roll in, and then I'll watch them roll away again. Yeah.
Hey folks, Studio here. Welcome to the Mobafire Challenger Series, sponsored by iBuyPower, Fatality, and Razor. I'm being joined by the one and fabulous EG80 your feed. How you doing, man?
Doing good. That last game was epic, and I'm expecting a even better game from this one coming up between Tempest and New World's Eclipse. This is going to be another hype game coming up. And yeah, how are you doing, sir?
Well, after that last game, I don't know what to think anymore, because we saw the early snowball, we saw the early CC and damage coming out, and it did not pan out for Complexity Academy. And well, GGLA taking their first win. Anything can happen in these games.
Yeah, and both of these teams currently are 0-1, so they're going to be fighting for their first wins of the MCS tournament, and they're going to look to go for that 1-1 even score across the board, and be happy with that for the first week of the Mobafire. I'm a stutter for words, excuse me. And it looks like everybody is ready to go, just waiting on the side of Tempest. And everybody from New World Eclipse is good.
Ready check has gone out. They're both ready, I believe. They can press the button. We have given
Yeah.
the go-ahead.
It looks
Okay,
like-
there we go.
It looks like JD Wu actually wants to be referred to as JD Noob this cast, so we will oblige to that one, as last time he wanted to be Blaze It something Ganja 420, I don't know. But we'll oblige to JD Noob, as I've seen him do that quite a bit. And
JD
yeah,
Noob, a fine name.
that's a fine name. And first band going to be coming out is Elise for the side of New World Eclipse. We saw Elise be fairly dangerous in the jungle from Wapachang.
I mean, Elise it was a hell of a pick last game, and it's a dominant pick just because of her early gank presence, her late game single target damage, and the fact that really no matter what you do, no matter where you go, Elise can hop out of a bush and kill you, like most spiders. It's a pretty true to a reality character.
Yeah, and now we're going to see the side of Team Tempest ban out Jayce and Nunu. Don't want to have that Jayce scaling into the late game, dishing out a ton of damage with a Shock Blast, as well as Nunu being the horrific jungle threat to counter jungle you and shove it in your face with early dragons and early barons. And New World Eclipse finishes off their bans with Kennen and Malphite.
And there goes Draven. Draven, I believe, has his new passive in.
It's actually pretty bugged as of lately from the patch. It only catches on his right axe, apparently, where the adoration stacks up. It only catches on the right axe, I think, from what I've read so
That
far.
is awesome. Like, in like the weirdest way. that makes no sense. That's such a weird bug to happen.
It looks like NWE snagged Twisted Fate. So
All right,
pretty strong global pressure going to come out there.
Twisted Fate, I'd say he's a common ban, in every competitive scene, and in solo queue, he is one of those chain bans because, my god, Twisted Fate in solo queue is one of the worst. And a lot of these challenger teams have members recently coming from it, so a well-versed Twisted Fate is something that cannot, and these are actually some of the players that have probably had the best experience with the character. The question is going to be, do they have enough to control that Twisted Fate? New World Eclipse, they have so far Shyvana and Heimerdinger select. Let's wait on talking about those picks. But it's very easy to build a team comp where you'll have lanes that may not be able to get kills on their own, but an example used to be Taric. He's not really picked up so much anymore, but you put Taric in the bot lane with a Twisted Fate in the game on your team, every single time Taric stuns, that's a chance where Twisted Fate can ult in and get a kill. No longer the case, really, but with Nami, that's someone who can do that.
Yeah, and apparently I'm being told by Rapid that Xiao is the second best TF in North America. We'll see if he is right with that information, as he says that in World Eclipse practices that all the time. And from the side of Team Tempest, we see Thresh and Nasus get locked in. That could be a top lane Nasus as well as a jungle Nasus. We'll see where that one ends up going, as New World Eclipse picks up Nami and Lee Sin. So we might see JD Wu Lee Sin for this one, as we can see the next pick coming out.
Sorry about that. I actually forgot to put on the summoner blockers. Luckily, not much being revealed from the Revive Teleport Twisted Fate and the Clarity Teleport. I know I should be saying it, but come on. Or Clairvoyance Teleport. Clairvoyance Teleport.
Yeah, we're going to see Team Tempest as well lock in that Varus and Zed. We've seen Zed do some deadly things, being able to one-shot those squishier AD carries in the bunch. We'll see if New World Eclipse picks up one of the squishier AD carries in that one. And yeah, we saw some really amazing plays from Bunny Fufu on Nami last game. We'll see if the support from New World Eclipse can do the same thing.
All right, check it. That Zed pick is going to be one of the funnier things to watch if it focuses on killing Twisted Fate throughout the game. Because Twisted Fate versus Zed, because Twisted Fate picks up Zhonya's, any Zhonya's character versus Zed is funny. Because Zed will ult, if the character doesn't have Zhonya's, the character has a good chance of just dying right there. In that case, Twisted Fate, if he gets a gold card the second Zed ults, that's what will keep him alive. If not, he will probably die to anything Zed does, unless he blows a flash or a long cooldown. So that's going to be a problem, but eventually Twisted Fate doesn't really have a problem with Zed anymore. He just survives the burst damage, and it's going to be up to keeping someone like, Twitch alive. And if Twitch has good backup, if Twitch has good protection, like something from a Nami or Nami bubble, the Zed pick can peter off. So Zed's going to be on a somewhat timed area. He can't just go nonstop, where Renekton is picked up, and that's going to be someone who can also survive the Zed damage and not really be punished by a Nasus.
We're actually going to see Vayne for Virus this game. So interesting how they're going to play that one. They're going to look to go to a late game with this. And Lee Sin, not really one of the better late game champions unless he makes the plays towards the early and mid game.
Well, It depends on what Lee Sin tries to do. If you want the great duelist, don't put Lee Sin. He's a good duelist, but he's not going to be doing that much late game. But his auto attack speed debuff, something that doesn't really get mentioned quite a bit. I believe it's 40% or so at max rank, which is absolutely insane. It's an incredibly good debuff, and putting it on someone like Varus just completely nullifies the physical or half the physical damage coming out of that team. So New World Eclipse, it's a cool team. They have Renekton to kind of dive in there and be a big distraction. They have Lee Sin to dive in there and be a big distraction. So they have the two big factors that's going to force the attention of the enemy team. But Zed can get the Vayne.
Yep, and Vladamir is going to be the last pick for the side of Team Tempest, as Professor Quackers is going to look to take that one into possibly the mid lane, as we do have X-Hazard being their top laner, but you could see a lane swap go around, and I keep being told that JD Noob is apparently a Lee Sin main, and we can expect the insect plays out of him, hopefully. So I want to see some amazing non-noobish war jumps into Dragon Fury kicks into the enemy team, or into their team, excuse me, not to the enemy team. That'd be saving them.
Oh yeah, no. Now JD Woo's been playing Lee Sin for at least a year at this point. He's kind of like Cruiser the Bruiser. That was one of the characters he started with, and JD Woo, being in the jungle role, got to keep playing Lee Sin, luckily. So it's going to be neat to see what he can do. He is a very solid player. He's just got to keep that confidence up. You got a man mode on Lee Sin. You can never play Lee Sin and just be like, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm kind of scared. No, if you do that, you're going to kind of just mess around and never go in for those cool initiations. You can never make the big plays happen. But JD Woo early on will be going ham all over the place. Like, who can he gank? He can gank Varus, he can gank Thresh. It's going to be kind of hard to kill the Varus, though, because of Thresh's positioning. Essentially, it's an all or nothing bot lane. Mid lane, now Zed's a hard gank. Lee Sin, though, if he lands that first Q, he can follow through with that. He can get the slow reliably if he can, just land the Q or even just flash next to him. Xiao,
and
Twisted Fate, gold card setup. They have really good ways to take out Zed.
Yeah, and if you look at the summoners right now, it looks like Nasus is going to be running Flash at this point. There's going to be no Ghost for him, so he will not have as much running potential, but he will be able to escape over walls and potentially get Flash over walls or Flash to get in range for a Wither if he wants to hit. We do notice that Vayne isn't running Cleanse this time around. She's got that barrier, so not going to be able to get away from Exhaust or Wither or Dissonance for that matter. There's a lot of CC coming up from the side of Team Tempest, though.
That's a danger pick right there, not going Cleanse versus Nasus. That is something where Nasus doesn't even have to, get to Vayne to do anything. If he gets the Wither off, Vayne's, about half as effective now. You still get auto attack resets from Tumble. You can still apply that DPS, but unfortunately, Vayne just not going to be all that useful.
Yeah, and we are getting into that last minute and 20 seconds in the Spectre delay. We are going to run a quick set of ads. Disable your ad blocker, support the Mobafire Challenger Series, support our sponsors, iBuyPower, Fatality, and Razor Academy. We will be right back when this game loads up, so sit and enjoy.
Currently heading towards that loading screen. Just going to go ahead and put this in between games transition. As you know what, this is a game where it's going to be a weird laning phase because both teams can just do so much about it. Loading screen has finally finished popping up there. Let's go ahead and transition in, see if we got the good skins running.
Yeah, and also, guys, if you're just joining us for the second game of the Mobafire Challenger Series, you can check out the past game that was just played between GGLA and Complexity Academy, excuse me, I keep stuttering on those words. You can find them on the YouTube channel of youtube.com/MCS Esports and watch those and subscribe to everything, the Twitter, the Facebook, and the YouTube. And yeah, we're going to be loading in the skins that are going to be coming out that I like are the Magnificent Twisted Fate.
That's a good skin. You know, it used to have an in-game problem where it was tiny, and it was amazing for it. Like, it was a
tiny.
really, really small model. And a few characters have had that. Like some Sona skins, her head is just almost not there. But it's a solid looking skin. It fits the character. I love to see it. And you know, looking at how these lanes match up, I do wonder where they're going to put the Vayne. Varus, you know, Varus was known as a Draven player. Varus was known as the Draven for a while, only playing Draven. He's had time to expand upon that since then. As whoa, going into the game,
Yeah,
30 seconds. 30-second delay on that. Let me go ahead and fix these team names. There we go.
Oh, that was pretty interesting, but we're all good now. Nothing was missed at all. There's only just one ward at the entrance towards the blue buff of the side of Team Tempest, as well as one blue ward placed in that river entrance. It looks like a pause is going to come out anyway, so nobody missed anything. It is all good. Everybody's just grouping up for a little bit of what looks like an early-ish invade. Lag is being said by Team Tempest, a little bit of a ping issue coming out, so hopefully that'll be resolved really quickly.
Currently, all I can do is zoom in and out, so let's go ahead and just, I guess, look at Vayne's butt. Because that is all I can do on the screen. But looking at the level 1s for both teams, who's got the good CC, who's got what it takes to actually kill someone, possible Renekton CC, most likely going to have his Cole the Meek at level 1, or just his Slice and Dice. Usually you don't start with the stun. You can, though. That's a possibility. Yeah. Also, Twisted Fate's gold card, Nami's bubble, and Lee Sin. Pretty much anything he does except the shield is good in level 1 fights. Even the shield's pretty good. And then over on the enemy team, well, there's Thresh, and that's about it. Nasus can always start with her, but if Nasus starts with her, you're in for a world of pain in the jungle.
There's the Hail of Arrows as well coming out from Varus that can drop that slow in a giant little area of effect, as well as the slow from Professor Quackers on that Zed. And it looks like everybody's saying they're ready to go. It is all resumed, and we're going to get into this game for the first minute of it. And yeah, that blue buff invade is coming out from the side of New World Eclipse. The gold card is going to be prepped by Xiao, but not going to meet anybody there, as we see everybody from Team Tempest at their own red ward is going to be dropped there to see the entrance. And man, New World Eclipse is ballsy as hell. JD Noob leading that charge into the brush. Pings are going down, actually. They feel like they're over there. They're like, all right, guys, we're going to go over there, check. Resonating straight start coming out from JD Woo. Everybody being so patient right now. They do not want to be invaded.
I think what could have happened is they might have spotted them out actually with their very, very far away sight ward. Just trying to scout them out. That might have been it because the pings came out quite quickly. But the red side jungle, Team Tempest, their jungle has been pretty, well, actually it was only a temporary ward, so they only have the 3-minute ward by the blue buff, and they're just hoping to catch someone, catch Nasus. Nasus is hard to shut down in 1v1s in the jungle because of Wither. He withers and walks away. But if you can shut him down with a level 1 fight, deny him that blue buff, slow him down tremendously, that really kind of affects his ganking pressure, his map pressure. He needs the early blue buff, he needs the early sustainability.
Yeah, and it looks like we're going to trade blue buffs for both teams here. So, Team Tempest is going to have the side of New World Eclipse's blue buff timer, and New World Eclipse is going to have Team Tempest blue buff timer, as Inxanital is going to hit level 2, and actually we're going to have a lane swap.
This is somewhat surprising. I'm actually wondering if Team Tempest expected New World Eclipse to lane swap themselves, because they don't want Vayne to get free farm. Vayne getting free farm would just shut them down, but maybe this is a chance to try and shut down the Renekton top lane.
Ooh.
Death Sentence does land.
It does connect. There's the Death Sentence. Not going to be a kill, though. They're going to harass him really hard to about half HP. And yeah, they're going to have a field day up there with the Renekton. But Renekton is one of the better tower-holding champions to be going in a 2v1. And can farm up pretty well with that Culling Blade, as well as Slice and Dice for escape. And a stun build to do his kit as well.
Now, lading pressure, where are the junglers going to go? Nasus looks like, you know, maybe top. He has Spirit Fire. He can push. I think they're going to go for an early tower push with this.
Yeah, they might try to do it LCS style, where they do get that early tower for their team. And yeah, just gonna try to keep everything going, while Vladamir does have a lot of pressure going onto him. And Nasus is possibly gonna dive in that top lane. And we could see that happen when the wave is pushed up by Team Tempest.
Alright, Renekton, your time has come. Quas, he does not have an escape. He just has Cold Meek, still level 1. He's going to put the ward down at the perfect moment, but this is still scary because they can scare him off. They can get him away from that tower, deny a boatload of experience, keep him level 1, and Vladamir over in the bot lane. He doesn't have any pressure coming out from JD Woo, so I mean, Quas is taking a risk here. Does he stay level 1, or does he risk dying over here to that 3-man possible dive?
I think he's going to be content with living. I don't think he wants to die at this point in the game, but he will give up the first turret. He does get level 2. We have JD Noob coming up here right now, actually. They're going to try to hold this tower as he does come in. Resonating Strike going to be thrown out. There it is. Goes on to Anxiety Lol. He's going to be the first target. It looks like Nerf did take a brunt hit from that turret, and they will defend this turret early on. That's what they needed to do, and did not lose it, while Bot is getting pushed even harder as Exhauster tries to defend it with that early game Vladamir, who isn't the strongest.
The early game Vladamir, what does he have? He has the Tides of Blood. That is his anti-pushing mechanic. It kills him. Doesn't really kill minions that quickly either, so not the best mechanic. Exhauster actually takes a lot of damage though. They don't have the CC coming out from Varus, but still chunked down super low. Condemned, it's not skilled up. JD Wu though is hooked in the top lane.
Yep, that flame knocking him back in. Slice and Dice coming out. Resonating Strike as well. JD Wu gets out of there with 210 HP and looks like he's going to be able to live through that one. No first blood yet, no first tower, but Anxiety Lol is hanging out up in that top lane to make it a 3v2, while JD Wu goes back to make it a 3v1.
Now, they're just keeping Anxiety Lol up there. You'll notice that, you know, they're all level 3 still. Thresh, being played by Devizian, and Nerf haven't leveled up in quite some time, and Anxiety still hasn't pushed it, so there is a disadvantage to this. They're going for the early push strat. They get the early tower, but the overall experience, I mean, Quas, he's been 1v3 and keeping up in experience because he couldn't zone him out. They're sacrificing a lot to be up there.
Yeah, they are, but the tower did fall, so first tower of the game will go to Team Tempest. They will be able to enjoy that one for themselves, while it looks like Quas not going to go in, but actually gets flayed in. There's a Death Sentence coming in as well as the Siphoning Strike. JD Noob is going to go on him with the shield to keep him alive for most of that harass, while Anxiety Lol, Nerf, and Devasion are going to be pressuring this top tower still.
Devasion, that's what it is. It always looks French to me when I see that at first. Like, maybe.
Devasion. I don't know.
But Devasion.
Yeah, they're taking so much damage.
But the story is just this top tower. You're going to possibly kill Quas now. He does get hooked in, does have the Slice and Dice available, but they're just applying more and more pressure. And Twisted Fate, I mean, the second he hits 6, party time is over, but he's still not quite there. About 3 minions off.
Yep, and it looks like nothing else is going to come out just yet. They're still just going through.
They're there? What are they doing there?
He just wants to farm. He's having a very happy time with that one, but that is going to allow Huang and Virus to push up that tier 1 turret in the bot, while the tier 2 up top is still being pressured.
I mean, this is what they're being punished for. Here comes Twisted Fate.
He goes over to him, gets a lantern to the wall. JD Wu is going to flash over. Can he get the Resonating Strike? The Slicing Dice comes out. Quas is going to try to chase this one. Resonating Strike connects. He's going on to Anxiety Low. There's a last of the mana from the Flay. There are pings going down. Ex-Professor Quackers is there. Level 6 has a death mark. Nobody wants to fight that one. There is going to be a ping going down. Huang looks like everybody's going to back out, and still no first blood for this game.
Hell of an escape coming out from Devasion. Like, that was slick. He puts down the lantern, flashes over the wall, gets Nerf out of there. Nerf did not lose his flash. Ghost blown on Renekton earlier to survive. Flash blown on JD Wu. Twisted Fate, you know, saved his own, but in the end, they got the first turret, I guess, and they didn't die for it. But that tremendous amount of time spent in that top lane, just look at the experience. JD Wu, or JD Noob, my mistake, almost level 6. Anxiety Lol, halfway through level 4. TT Nerf, halfway through level 4. Kind of the same story. Everyone else is just getting farther and farther ahead, getting closer and closer, getting those ultimates, and there are 3 level 4s on Team Tempest. That was a cool play, but was it worth it? They did not come out ahead in gold. They did not come out ahead in towers. They just lost experience.
Yeah, for sure. And now we do have that Destiny Gate going to be down for a little bit. Global pressure is going to be relieved for a little while. Whether it was a pink ward just killed on the Dragon Pit, so we could potentially see Team Tempest go for the first Dragon of the game, as Nasus is one of the better Dragon takers at that earlier stage of the game at that level 6, but he's only level 5 right now, so possibly going to look to push down this tier 1 turret in the bot lane, as 4 members of Tempest are going down there right now.
I mean, the early Dragon fight could be a possibility, but I think at this point, if they can wait for Virus to hit level 6, if they can actually even get Nami to level 6, you know, they can really punish the lower level characters. They're going for this early group, this early pushing, and as weird as it sounds, it's almost to the advantage of New World ECLIPSE to just stay split push, just not do anything to stop it, because they should get towers in response, and they can keep waiting for Twisted Fate.
Varus, what are you doing? He's going and gets Death Mark. There's a slow coming up. The Shuriken as well. Varus is going to try to 1v1, but the Ignite is going to take him down from first blood. Ex-Professor Quacker is going to take that one for his team of Team Tempest. And for those of you asking, the Team Tempest is on the right side while there is a flash from New World Eclipse coming in. There's the gold card. There's the bubble coming out as well. The Ignite with JD Wu going in. There's a ward dash coming out. The kick is going to send Nerf back. The ward going into the brush. Nerf is going to not be long for this world. Resonating Strike not going to connect. Going to give it to Xiao on that Twisted Fate and go for the dragon after that one, possibly. Because Nasus is still alive. The smite is still there.
I gotta give props to Varus for being the manliest Vayne player alive. A Zed ults him. He gets away, he tumbles away, and then walks right back towards him, thinking he takes the fight with the red pot a bit too much. X Hazard, though, going on to Quas top lane, doesn't have enough to really finish him off, as Quas actually goes back in there. Hazard possibly could have tried to turn that around, but Ghost available, Quas most likely safe. In the end, Virus, I think, he just doesn't care, man. He's still going after Quackers. He's still trying to take him down. That dragon is being secured down to about 1,000 HP now.
Yeah, it's a gold card. Oh, alright, looks like JD Noob is going to smite that one for himself and his team to secure a nice little 2.6k gold lead for his team. So New World Eclipse going to be happy with that one, gets the dragon. They do lose first blood though, but they picked up 2 kills on the bot lane and are going to be pretty content with that.
Alright, so well, across the board, they now have a 2.5k gold advantage. Now, do you feel like a lot happened to really earn that? It's been a very, very, I'd say, uneventful game in a lot of ways. Like, not a lot's happened. That's been 2 kills, but 2 kills, a dragon, and the Mist Farm coming out from Team Tempest is what really set them back. And now they're behind by quite a big amount. 2.5k gold this early on. It can be made up, but I think the experience is really what's going to just crunch them.
Yeah, and having that extra experience, get them to the early levels faster, as well as the global pressure can be applied by that Twisted Fate. Heard Xiao is one of the best TFs in North America, so we'll see and put him to the test on this stream, as this is the first time I will be seeing him play, and hopefully lives up to the expectation, and we'll see what he can do. While Virus is just farming up in that bot lane against Nerf and Division, being that Twisted, that Thresh and Varus.
Trying to get these overlays back in working order. Team Icons had a little bit of a flub with them because it turns out the teams haven't immediately changed their names right before the match. But looking across this, they're going to keep pressuring now. Nami's level 6. Nami now has, you know, the incredibly long-range initiational. Could also be used to disengage, and that's going to shut down Professor Quackers if he doesn't dodge it with his ultimate. Like the move speed slow, even though Quackers does have his Living Shadow to teleport to, the move speed slow is huge on that because Vayne has a tumble to get away as well. So he can't keep up with anybody. Twisted Fate has a stun. Quackers is actually going to have trouble keeping on people, which is a big issue for Zed if they have enough kite.
Yeah, for sure. And also, they can't factor out all the CC that both of these teams have. With the slow from the Tempest cripple coming out from JD Noob on that Lee Sin. They have Tidal Wave, Bubble, slow from Tidal Colors Busting. While there's an engagement going on up top. There's a Date, the Destiny Gate coming in, a Date coming in from Xiao. He wants to take X Hazard out with the gold card and takes him out with the wild cards instead, getting the stun off, and a nice play coming out from New World's Eclipse. Xiao showing a great performance on that Twisted Fate. While JD Wu actually is going to use that Dragon Fury onto Anxiety, they'll push him out, but Nasus activates the ultimate. There is the ward dash coming out from JD Noob as he is going to try to escape the death mark. There is the Ginsu's coming out. No! Flash coming out from Professor Quacker is going to keep himself alive from the tower. One more hit would have done it, but there are pings going out all over the place. Anxiety Lol is going to back off with that Sands activated. And Wildcards connect! Xiao is going to chase up this one. Auto attack. There's the Sheen proc coming out. Is he in range of tower? He is! Red buff is going to be transferred to Xiao. And JD Noob dies, not in vain, while Twisted Fate picks up the kill.
I mean, JD Wu does go down, but that is a problem with this team. They're melee. It's a very, very melee-oriented team. For example, Vladamir does not have the highest range in the end. Varus is really the only ranged character they have that can do a lot from a distance. So they go in for the all-in, they go in for the crazy plays, but guess what? They die diving that second-tier tower. And if they can keep people not even, you know, alive, but alive for long enough that they can get somewhere safe, then the Twisted Fate range comes into play. Then the Vayne tumble comes into play. Then, you know, everything about New World Eclipse really starts to hammer into enemy team. I think at this point, Team Tempest really needs a solid early laning phase, which explains why they went for the heavy pushes, because if not, you know, they're just going to have trouble keeping on people. They have lots of ways to deal with Nasus. Vayne has the tumble. They have Nami's ult to keep people away. They have Nami's CC. They have a lot of CC, a lot of kite, and a lot of ways to protect what will eventually be a better late game carry.
And Vayne scaling amazingly into that late game, but you can't count out Nerf on that Varus. Varus is one of the better late scaling AD carries, as well as the team of Team Tempest has a really late game oriented team. Professor X, Pro Crackers, Professor Crackers, I'm not too sure if the silent F is correct, but he is going to be able to try to one-shot that Vayne, who has only the barrier. She doesn't really have much health to her name, and yeah, Nasus is going to be huge towards that late game. The brother rivalry in Renekton and Nasus is going to be huge. They have those ultimates adding the extra HP, as well as the percentage damage coming out from them in this light little AoE, and yeah, looks like another engage going on top. Xhaxer going to get initiated. There's the dominance. He's going to chase after him with that ghost activated, and it looks like Xhaxer's going to try to drain away. The Hema play goes out. They are still chasing. Pool gets activated. He's going to slice and dice through that one, possibly. There's the stun coming out. Tiamat being active as well. Culling Blade is going to pick up that one. Well, it looks like the mid turret did fall. And now we have a little bit of a group going on in the mid lane. JD Wu connects the Resonant Strike on Professor Crackers. Will take his Shadow Dash away. And yeah, Pink Ward clearing out a ward for Division.
Right now, just across the board, it's kind of like little fights here and there. They're not just getting anything done on Team Tempest. And the problem with this is they fell too far behind too quickly. It's all coming down to Professor Crackers now. He's level 11 Xhaxer, is level 10 himself, but has been kind of limited on farm, still 30 behind his teammate. And with Quackers and his finished Blade of the Ruined King, now is his chance to burst people down through that barrier, that Vayne specifically. And if he's not getting a kill every time it's on cooldown, his team is just falling apart at the seams.
Yeah. And now we have a mid tier 1 turret being pressured by Xiao and JD Wu. They're going to try to do as much as possible with Anxiety, holding it with that Fairy Fire. As now the tower is still being focused. Xiao, the Wither going on to JD Wu. There is the ultimate coming out. Stands the Fury from Anxiety Lol. He's going to try to come in. There is the Lantern from Thresh as well. And they are still chasing. Wither comes out again. There is a Dragon Fury kicking him back in. Xiao gets caught. Oh, not going to go in with that Death Sentence. Oh, flashing, igniting. Can he get the wild cards? He does.
Ooh.
Xiao takes that kill and the buff for himself with the help of JD Wu and Division. Not really able to do much with that one.
Anxiety Lil trying to play the mind games, jukes to the side at the very beginning of that wild card, hoping to try and, you know, predict and trick off Xiao. Xhaxer actually taken very low. Here comes the Destiny, though.
Yep, there's a red card. Nope, gold card going to be locked in. Just popped up. There is coming out. Wild cards comes in. Culling Blade to help as well. The wild cards will pick that one up for Xiao, doing a lot on that Twisted Fate for the global pressure. As well as JD Wu. I thought he was going to come around from the side, try to sneak up and be sneaky. And yeah, we have Virus and Wang still pushing on this bot tier 2 for New World Eclipse.
Now, really cool pickup coming out from Quas. A Tiamat. He is now a burst caster. Like,
yeah.
Renekton has fairly long cooldowns. Call the Meek is short, is still quite a bit to really activate it a bunch of times. And he's trying to supplement that by going for the early Tiamat. His team was ahead. He did not have the experience necessarily, but he knew his team could back him up if he won for it. And now with that Ravenous Hydra finished, he not only has Call the Meek as his burst AoE spell, he has his ultimate, Call the Meek. He has the Ravenous Hydra proc, which will deal pretty good damage. It's not a huge amount, 200 extra damage on top of everything else, though. The fact that in the end he is mostly an initiator rather than a really heavy burst caster means that any burst damage he does do is going to be huge and impactful. No one's tanky yet for Team Tempest.
Yeah, they're trying to get tanky, though. There are those 2 cloth armors and a Doran shield on top of Xhaxer on that Vladamir, and that's really about it. Besides Nasus, the Spirit of the Ancient Golem, which is pretty standard. Going to pick up another Ruby Crystal in his inventory as well, and possibly go for some more support tanky items, maybe a Locked Ancillary, possibly Shurelya's. You never know. We'll see what he does with it. Or a Runic Bulwark, while we do have New World Eclipse going for this Dragon Pressure, and most likely going to get this one for free.
In the end, I think it comes down to the fact that there just isn't anybody with 100 armor yet on the enemy team. You factor in Quas's armor shred on Renekton. That's going to be huge. You factor in the attack speed slow, the move speed slow. There's lots of ways to control the output of both teams, really. But I think right now, New World Eclipse, they're going to get it. Virus, though, can you win this man fight this time?
Oh, it does not look like it. Ex-Professor Crackers will take him and go on his killing spree. So there you go. He gets taken down and will be destroyed. But there's the gate coming in as well. Gold card, wild cards, blue buff. He's going to try to spam out everything that he can. Gets the stack deck. Going to throw out the card. Pick up the kill with the red card. JD Wu was there to collapse with him. Throws out the Resonating Strike. Does not connect. Nerf is going to take the Lancer across the wall. And a nice kill for Xiao.
Very neat play. They're coming out of Xiao. I like his pick a card use. He is someone who knows when he just has to pick a card to use a card. In that case, it didn't matter what card he picked, it was going to kill ex-Professor Quackers. But he had to wait for it. He had to wait for that card cooldown to come back up. Didn't hesitate, didn't wait for the gold, just went for it. It's looking good though. Like I'm loving this play. I'm loving that Virus. If he goes down, the team picks up a kill. JD Noob went down earlier, the team picked up a kill. You know, the score is 8-3. Every time someone's out of position, they're not far enough out of position.
There's the bubble coming out. Oh, it does not connect. This is a little too fast for that one. They might try to steal away this blue buff for themselves, as there will be a little bit of a Smite contestation war going on there. Smite goes for Anxiety. He picks it up. There's the Ward Dash coming in. Flash kick onto Vayne. Trying to take him out, but there is the Chain of Corruption coming out. The Tidal Wave as well, hitting 2 members. Anxiety Lull going up with that one. There is the Lantern pulling Nerf out of there. Xiao gets healed up by Nami. Anxiety Lull is taking everybody in, but Varus is up there as well. There's the Hemo play going down. Varus is chasing him down. Has that last Silver Rolls proc and the final hour activated. Picks up the kill on X Hazard for Varus. And now we could potentially see them go for a mid lane push or potentially fight for Baron.
They could go for that Baron, but there is a Professor Quackers alive in the Baron pit. He can still get in range. It's hard to escape him, and they just don't want to risk it. He should be able to kill someone in the Baron pit, especially with Xiao, that's so low on HP. But in the end, if they group up as 5, if they have everyone just hanging around to protect whoever gets ulted on by Zed, without Vladamir, without Nasus, there's just not enough to contain. Varus ult is not available. Thresh does have Death Sentence, but that's about it.
Yeah, and there's the Death Sentence coming out. Everybody strafes away nicely as they part themselves away from that one. Hail of Arrows, they're trying to hold this one on the side of Team Tempest, but New World Eclipse just being a little bit too strong right now. That Sheen is doing quite a bit of damage to the tower hits, as well as the Vayne with a lot of attack speed. From that play, the Rune King Zeal and an extra dagger with Berserker Greaves, excuse me.
Now, 8,000 gold lead for New World Eclipse. I've talked about how they can pretty much do whatever they want. The question is, well, what does Team Tempest want to try? Professor Quackers looks like a deal.
Oh my god,
he's gonna
oh, he Zonia'd it! Is it on? No, it's not actually. He Zonia'd that perfectly! And the third hit from the Silver Ball procs with the final hour from Virus is gonna pick up that kill. Okay, nice outplay there by the Zonia's Hourglass.
That is Zonia's versus Zed. It just shuts him down completely. Looking at the overall gold, Professor Quackers has 6,800, the most on his team. And you know what? That is still below 3 members of New World Eclipse. So I'd say their goal before used to be maybe go for an AoE team fight, use the box with Thresh and his Death Sentence initiation, as well as Vladimir's ultimate and Varus' Chains of Corruption. Sync that all together and, try and burst off one, then snowball from there. Vayne's dead. The problem is, it's not just Vayne that's strong right now. It's Vayne, it's Renekton, it's even Twisted Fate and Lee Sin. Like, Lee Sin, he has a Sightstone and Aegis, but he's just not going to die. He's just going to keep soloing people with that attack speed debuff on his Tempest cripple combo. So, I just don't think there's anything they can do. They fell behind too fast, too early, and their team comp is not made for comebacks. Melee initiation, melee burstcasters are not good at comebacks.
Yeah, it's really hard to come back from, especially with the Aegis of the Legion finished off on top of JD Wu. He's got a bit of extra gold in his inventory. I thought Quas was going to go Hazard there and stop that one, but we are going to see that Riddick Bulwark fairly soon. And yeah, that's going to completely shut down X Hazard, excuse me, as he's 0-4-0 right now with not really too much AP in his build. And I thought Virus was going to go in. There's a Destiny Gate as well. They might actually try to dive in this one. Nope, he's going to go up top of that. Gold card going to go on X Hazard. There is the stun as well as the TMS. So much damage. Call the Meek was not enough though. X Hazard's going to get dashed on, dodges the Resonating Strike. Will be able to get out of there. Wild cards coming in. Gold card Anxiety will force the flash away from that. And really good play by New World Eclipse. There's a stun coming out. Tiamat going to be active. Blue card goes onto tower. Wild cards come out. Resonating Strike connects, but nobody else going to choose to go in this one. And a Flay gonna knock Virus in the tower, but he tumbles away, and we are gonna see Tier 2 possibly fall as Tier 3 up in the top lane falls. The Chain of Corruption does not connect. He's gonna go back in, actually. Virus is gonna fight hitting Nerf. The Tidal Wave does not connect, and yeah, they force him back as Virus is still gonna pressure this Tier 2 turret in the bot lane, while up top, that inhibitor is being pressured by the 3 other members of New World Eclipse, and Resonating Strike connects. Quas? No, looks like JD was gonna go in. Tempest cripple coming out. Bot turret does fall. There is the Hema playing on 2 members. There is the Mark as well coming out from Professor Quackers on the Xiao. There is a Lantern coming in, giving rid of that shield as JD Wu is gonna be the target. There's a gold card from Xiao. Flay gonna knock back JD Wu in. Quas actually chased down Professor Quacker, takes him out. And now it looks like Nasus will take down Twisted Fate while JD Wu goes in, picks up the Nasus. The Evasion is next. Call the Mika to pick up that kill. Nerf is going to be targeted down by Quas. Forced to pop that barrier. Going to try to kite as much as possible. JD Wu is looking to hang around. There's a shield coming out. There's a Tempest. There's a cripple. He survives. The ace is going to go in favor of New World Eclipse, and that is going to be 2 inhibitors for them. What a great play by that 3v4 up there, or 3v5. I think everybody joined in from Team Tempest.
A 3v5, that was huge. Look at the bot lane though. Wong and Virus just completely decimating that inhibitor. Top inhibitor goes down as well. 13,000 gold advantage. That right there is the power of a Ravenous Hydra 501 or 505 Renekton just taking out that Varus. Oh, Hazard, he gets it. Can he keep him down though?
JD Wu, he actually stopped him from going back.
They're gonna get him.
Call the make. He does the slice and dice. The ignite is going to go down. The pool picks up the kill. Hazard going to take down JD Wu, but he's not long for this world unless he can kite as much as possible. Shield's coming out from the Lancer. They're chasing down Quas right now. If they can pick up this kill, they can potentially go for Baron. There is the stun coming out. There's a Tiamat as well. The Destinus goes through the slice and dice. The ignite is dropped though. X-Hazard getting healed. No! He gets taken down. And Quas makes it a 2-for-1. Wow. That was pretty worth.
It was a 2-for-1. You know, he does die. They do pick up the kills. But if you think about it, if it wasn't for the fact that the backup showed up, Renekton Quas was going to kill Hazard right there. Hazard, you know, he's got a Zhonya's Hourglass now, just finished beforehand. But prior to that, he was just going to go down. TT nerf. This is not looking good for you, Team Tempest.
What was that chain? It looks like bubble. Ghost cards. Let's wave. Wild cards. Pick up the kill.
Prediction gone wrong. He thought TF would go around for the flank, but TF says, screw that. I can just catch up to you. I can just walk towards you. It's Professor Quackers. This is the third time this has happened. Virus, will you finally redeem yourself? And he does pick it up. It turns out a Vayne with, let's see how much more gold. With 10,000 gold versus Zed's 8,000 gold, will win that 1v1 when he catches it at the tower.
And it looks like Virus finally gets rid of his demon that is that Zed and takes him down with a nice condemn against the tower, mind you. And there's 2 inhibitors down for the side of Team Tempest and New World Eclipse, pushing this one brilliantly as we do have a little bit of taunt coming out from Huang. Gonna be laughing in their faces with that one. And now the inhibitor is in the mid lane that needs to be taken down, and we could potentially see that go down, or Baron and Dragon.
There goes Dragon for free. Varus taking it on his own. Has no troubles at this point. He is a Vayne with Blade of the Ruin King and Phantom Dancer, just providing a lot of attack speed and DPS with those Silver Bolt procs. X-Hazard though, dodging danger. Bubble's a little bit too risky for him.
Forced to pull that bubble. There is the Death Sentence. Going to pull JD Wu into the tower. A little bit of tower shots going down into the team of New World Eclipse. Lichbane going to be activated with that card, and they're going to apply a lot of damage onto that middle turret. And yeah, just going to wait for those super minions to funnel in the top and bot lane and force the defense of Team Tempest in that mid lane.
Alright, so here are all the super creeps coming to the party. They brought the kegs, they brought the beer, but looks like Team Tempest won't have it at all.
There is a bubble going on to Quackers as well. Virus has that final hour, condemns him away. Gonna be able to get a Hemoblade from X-Hazard. The pool coming in. Xiao takes down Professor Quackers though. Unfortunately, as the evasion is going to go in, the temp. Oh man, that Destiny Gate is going to go in. He goes in behind. He's going to pick off Anxiety Low. Gold card, wild cards. There is the Zhonya's the bubble out to TC Nerf. Flash, Resonating Strike going onto Nerf. There is the red card as well with the Lichbane going to pick up the kill. Oh man, it looks like he's going for the Quadra kill. Going to try to go into the evasion, but the Flay and the drains from the Vladamir are going to be able to take him down, and Division will make it out of there. But a triple kill for Xiao, and all 3 inhibitors are going down. Home guards are going to be coming out from Team Tempest. Division and X-Hazard are going to try to hold this one.
X-Hazard is by the bubble. Can he stay alive? It does have his pull available, I believe. We'll get out of there with that, but Division, I mean, it's looking pretty scary for him. Does get CC, does get hit by the Renekton stun, and will be going down. That Nexus, fare thee well, because you're going to Nexus Heaven, it seems.
And it looks like they're just going to try to give their final hurrahs. Professor Quacker is going to try to take out a kill. Gets a double for himself, though. Actually, no, we have Team Tempest still holding this one. The base is still fairly low. I don't know if they're going to try to go for this one. It's just they're having fun trying to get as many kills as possible. They condemn as Resonating Strike through the pool. But it looks like New World Eclipse is going to take down Team Tempest in this one for the first win of the Mobafire Challenger Series for themselves. So good job by New